Hi friends, thank you very much for clicking ABC Learning English Solution. Friends, today on this podcast we are going to discuss about the usage of gerund. My dear friends, gerund as a verb noun, there are different types of usage in English language. We can use a gerund in different types in English language and we'll discuss the same thing here. My dear friends, if you are having any problem to identify whether it is a gerund or whether it is a participle regarding this part, you can visit the I button. You'll get the link, and there I have discussed, there on this video I have discussed how to identify a gerund, how to identify a participle, or how to identify infinitive. My dear friends, if you are new on this channel, I'd like to request you to visit the video at first, then click on this video. It will be very beneficial for you. Now, my dear friends, as you know, gerund is the verb noun. That means there is the characteristic of verb and also the characteristic of noun. That's why it is called verb noun or verbal noun, and the basic form is verb with ing. Now, my dear friends, this is basically used as noun in the sentence. So, you know different types of nouns, just like any kind of name, maybe the name of a person or name of a thing or name of a place. So, these are nouns. It is basically used as the subject of the sentence or the object of the sentence. This is the basic usage of noun. We know it. Just like this one, my dear friends, we use this one, noun as the subject, then the verb, then the object. So object, this is the subject. This is the basic structure of English language, and we use the noun here as a subject, and also we can use the noun as an object. This is the basic usage. Just like this one, Ram plays football. My dear friends, Ram plays football. This is the sentence. And here you can see this is the subject. It is a noun, and it is an object. It is also a noun. So these two places are the best for the nouns. So here you know, my dear friends, this term gerund is used as noun in the sentence. So if it is a noun, so obviously it will fulfill the characteristic of noun. That means noun can be used as the subject of a sentence. So here obviously we can use this term as a subject of a sentence. Swimming is a good exercise. Here we have written swimming is a good exercise. Swimming is the subject here. And you know, my dear friends, a verb cannot be a subject. So obviously it's a noun. That means this noun is being used as subject in this sentence. And it is a noun. As it is a noun, it is called gerund. So the gerund may be used as the subject of a sentence. So here we have used this gerund as a subject. In the next sentence you can see, my dear friends, I like swimming. So here this is the subject, I, this is the verb, and if you ask the verb by what, the answer will be the object of the sentence. Here, what do I like? The answer is swimming. So swimming is the object of the sentence. That means, and as it is a noun, so obviously it's a gerund, and the gerund, we have used this gerund as the object of this sentence. In this sentence we have used the gerund as a subject. Here we have used the gerund as an object. Now, my dear friends, let's think about the third one. We have written he is fond of swimming. He is fond of swimming. So this is the So this is the subject, this is the verb, and here you can see he is fond of, then swimming. Here in this sentence, my dear friends, this is the main verb of this sentence, and here you can see one preposition, and after that we have written this one. So my dear friends, if we ask this one fond of by what, so the answer will be swimming. So what does he fond of? The answer is swimming from this sentence. So it is an object, but this is the object of this preposition. That means, my dear friends, and over here there is a mistake. There will be another M. I'm sorry for that. So my dear friends, this term is the object here, and this is the object of this preposition. And you know, this is a gerund here, as it is the object. Obviously it's a gerund. So my dear friends, the gerund may be used as the object of a preposition, and after a preposition, if the situation takes place, obviously we have to use the gerund form over there. Now my dear friends, let's look at this part. Number 4, we have written seeing is believing. Seeing is believing. Here you can see this is a noun, this is a noun here, this is the subject, and this is not the object, rather it is the complement of this sentence, and this is the verb. So my dear friends, this section we have discussed this part here. In question number 1 we have discussed it. That means the gerund may be used as a subject of the sentence. We have already discussed it. Here you can see, my dear friends, we have used this gerund as a complement of this verb. That means, my dear friends, the gerund may be used as a complement of the verb. This is the complement of this verb here. My dear friends, these are the basic usage. Now let's look at example number 5. Here you can see I have written, God willing, you will succeed in life. My dear friends, think about it very seriously. This part is called absolute phrase. So why is this called absolute phrase? Actually, this term, my dear friends, think about this term, God and will. These are jointly used in the sentences. These are actually the combination of words, you can say. We cannot use separately. All time we have to use jointly these two words. As it is a phrase, you can see this is a phrase, group of words. Actually 2 words are there and these are jointly used. These types of phrase are called absolute phrase, where these types of 2 or more words are used together, to use jointly. So my dear friends, in this way we can use the gerund. I should inform you one thing here, my dear friends, you can rewrite this sentence by using the if clause. In this way we can rewrite this sentence in this way: if God wills, if God wills, you will succeed in life. If God wills, you will succeed in life. That means, my dear friends, the absolute phrase can be rewritten using the if clause. It can be rewritten in this way. So my dear friends, we discussed about the absolute usage of gerund. And this is the last one. Number 6, this is the last one. You can see I have written here, I don't like his bossing. Here you can see this is the verb, don't like. This is the base verb, and as it is the present negative sentence, we have used the term don't. So these 2 parts are verbs, and this is possessive adjective. The sentence is I don't like his bossing. So my dear friends, this is the object, and you know it is a noun. As it is a noun, so it's a gerund. It's a gerund, and before that there is a possessive adjective. And you know, my dear friends, before the noun we can use possessive adjective, and this is the object of this adjective. That means the gerund can be used as the object of the possessive adjective. Here we have done the same thing. I don't like his bossing. That means this is the object of this term. So my dear friends, after any kind of possessing adjective, if there is the chance for writing down any kind of noun, obviously we have to write down the gerund form. We cannot write down I don't like his only the present form of the verb, or we cannot write down any other noun here. It will be mismatched. You can see if I write down football, if we write down this one, do you think, my dear friend, this sentence is natural or this sentence is meaningful? No, this sentence is not meaningful. We have to write down the gerund form. You can write down playing, you can write down whatever we wrote down, bossing. Even we can write down I don't like his playing or something, playing football or playing cricket, whatever it may be. In this way we can write down, but the fact is that after possessive adjective, obviously we have to use the gerund form. So my dear friends, this was all about the usage of gerund. These are the ways in which the words or the nouns are used in English sentences, or you can say the gerund are used in English sentences. So my dear friends, thank you very much for watching this video. In the next video we will discuss about the usage of participle. So my dear friends, thank you very much.